Hi guys, welcome to lesson 2. We're going to look a little more at Google Forms in depth about how to add questions, how to add images, videos, that sort of thing. So we'll start with, we've got our title here, our student information. Let's say I want to add a video. And so sometimes we're doing a form, especially if you want students to do it at home or you're not going to be around. A lot of times you can add, say, you have an instructional video, or maybe you find something on Khan Academy, or you want to pull in a video. So that's the first thing that they watch actually on the form. And so over here, this bar is kind of our toolbar for adding things into our form. We've got the add a question, title description, image, there's your add video, and then section. So we'll look at those throughout the course of this. Let's say I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add a video. And so you can do a video search inside of YouTube, or if you've got the URL already, you could copy and paste. So let's just say, adding fractions. We're going to search YouTube for adding fractions video. Here's one that we like. Okay, we know we like that. Whatever it happens to be, we can select that. It could also be a video that you've made yourself. If you post it to a YouTube channel or you've got a URL that's compatible with Google Forms. YouTube is sort of always the fail-safe way. So we could title this here. We'll call it adding fractions. Maybe how to. Okay. I know that doesn't go with student information. These three little dots here are a little formatting, so you can change it. We can center it up here if we want to. So that goes there. Notice there's still a question, untitled question here at the top. If I want that video to be the first thing that my students see or whoever is, I can grab the little 6 dots there and I can pull that up and I can rearrange it so that it's now at the top. I can also, on this untitled question, if I get it there, you'll see that there's a trash can there where I could delete that as well. So there's how to use the add a video if you want to embed a video inside of your form, whether in the beginning or the end or whatever it happens to be. The next thing is this bottom option here, this add section. So when we do that, you'll see that it kind of breaks it here. So a section effectively you can think of as a page. If you don't add or break anything into sections on your form, it's going to appear in one big stream or one big continuous scrolling, say, call it a worksheet or a form. Whereas if you break it and you add sections, when the student or whoever happens to be doing the form gets to the bottom of that section, then there'll be a button that goes to the next section. So it may be that you want to make things in particular where it's kind of page 1, page 2, page 3, and you'd like for them to do it that way. So you can set up those sections. So let's say I break it and I come to the next section and we say, we'll go basic info about you. So we'll return kind of to that student information side there. So that's my section title. Notice there, now I've got my question still floating here. So right now it's untitled. We're set on multiple choice. There's also some of the toolbars down here. Right now it's not required. You can flip this over for the question to be required, meaning the student has to fill it out or it won't let them submit the form if it's not filled out. And we've all been on internet sites where you have to have specific information or it doesn't let you actually submit it. Something I want you to watch closely right now, we're multiple choice and it starts to give me multiple choice options. But let's say I go and I say name, which is a really popular one. Notice that it goes ahead and it switches it to short answer automatically. Google has some artificial intelligence algorithms built in, so when you type specific keywords in your question, it automatically switches those to the types of answers you might want. Now you can always switch it back to multiple choice and you can add options. One here, Bob, and then if I just tab, okay, or I click in the next one, Tom, or Joe, I can still do multiple choice for my name if I want. But most of the time when we want name, we want short answer so that somebody can type their name in. The same thing is true if I go name, and then the next question I want to add a question, and it adds it down here. And let's say I start and I go birthday, it automatically switches that to a date. Again, that artificial intelligence sort of reading my keywords, doing it that way. So I go name, birthday, maybe I want to add another one, and email. Okay, again, it switches it to short answer, and so I can have those there. So those different formats there. Paragraph is also filled by, just gives you more character limits. Multiple choice, pretty self-explanatory. Checkboxes is multiple mark. We'll look at that in a second. You can do drop-down menus. You can have them upload files into the forms, choosing 1 through 5, 1 through 10. You make your own scale. Multiple choice grid and the checkbox grid are kind of big options, and then date and time. So check those out for the response options. If I make a question, say, that I like the format of, so for example, I'm doing a bunch of short answers, instead of having to hit the plus or add question button every time, one of the options is I can click on this down here, which is kind of this double box or shadow box, and it's duplicate, and it will automatically take a question there that I was highlighted on and basically copy paste it below. So if you have the format set up, whether it's multiple choice or linear or short answer or whatever it is, you can then just duplicate questions instead of having to reformat them over and over again. Let's say I'm done with that. I made 2 emails accidentally. I don't want that one. I want to trash this, so it gets rid of it. So I feel good about that. I'm done with that section, and then I'm going to click Add Section to do another one. So I've got basic info about me, and then I've got another section here. So let's say we want to do maybe, let's call it favorites. So we want to gather some information about our kids. Maybe this is the beginning of the year, and so we do favorites. Got that there, ready to add a question. Let's say, what types of food do you like? Okay. Notice I can also add, there's this little image icon that pops up right here. I can also add an image next to my question or with my question. So let's say I do an image. We've seen this menu before. I can upload my own photos if I get them saved to my computer. I can take a snapshot here to run through a few allow processes here. Okay. Might not let me take a snapshot. Okay, we'll go back. I can add by URL. I can search. The search at the end, we've seen this in some of the other tools, docs and slides, but you can actually search the web inside. And also then, one thing we haven't looked at, there's these 3 icons at the bottom. So let's say my favorite, I like Chinese food. Okay, so if I want to get an image there. So right now it's returning Google image searches. But if I switch it over to Life, this actually searches Life magazine for that. So there's no Life magazine Chinese food images, but let's say I search sports. Now I've got all these images that have appeared in Life magazine. So I could do that. There's also stock images. These are professional images that are Creative Commons. They're user-free. I can use them if I want. So let's see what kind of stock images we have for Chinese food. All right. So there's a few here, there. Maybe I want to go. Seems like my best choices were in Google. And let's say we just use this one. Okay. So then it adds that image right underneath my question. Notice I still have my 3 dots, so I can center that if I'd like. But this right now is a really big image. Maybe I don't want it to be that big. I can actually click on the image, and then I get my blue corners, and I can resize it inside of my form, because I don't want that image to take up, say, you got my 3 dots there, right? There's my left align. Okay, I don't want that image to take up the entire computer screen where someone has to scroll past it just because of the size of the image. So it is nice you can customize the size of the image inside the form as well. When it comes to the checkbox or the marks down here, maybe I want, so right now I've got checkboxes, meaning multiple mark. So let's say I put, I've got Chinese food, Italian, Mexican, American, Japanese / sushi. Okay, so multiple mark means I can get multiple checkboxes, just like you would consider kind of a traditional multiple mark question. So that's a nice answer, a nice option also. Also inside each of these images, I can add an image next to those choices. So if I wanted to put image options next to, say, Italian, I could come in here and add the image. Once again, do a search, maybe for Italian food. Okay, there's some pasta, okay, which we kind of think about there, and that will. Now, the only difference between those two is I can't resize or center these. So the question options, they stay the same. The only thing I can do is I can move my answer options up and down if I want to, and depending on how you set your form about whether your answers would be scrambled or not, or your choices would be scrambled, those could move themselves. But so you can also add images to your answers themselves. So those are your section break, your video, adding an image, the title and description, which is what we have here. You can add that, and then the different types of questions that can be added. So there's a little using that toolbar and getting that form constructed. Thanks.